I really like Bill's advice using the 3-club system. And now that he's explained it, let's see it in action.
We understand the 3-club system. We understand that it's based upon a premise of gathering information with your eyes, creating a picture of how you would toss a ball, and then selecting an appropriate club and shot that would duplicate that picture. We now need to learn how to hit the 5 shots. The 2 shots that I'm going to hit here are the 2 lowest, the chip and the lofted chip. Whenever you need to hit a low shot on the golf course, you need to do these 3 things. Whether it's under a tree branch or under the wind with the wind in your face, you choke the handle of the golf club, you narrow your stance, you play the ball back in your stance. The handle leans forward, as does your weight. I feel like about 70% of my weight is into my left foot. Some of the things that I see with the average golfer is that when they're asked to put their weight on their left side, they do it from the waist down, but their upper half tilts backwards. So it kind of looks like this. Lower half left, upper half right. It's counterproductive. You can see with the use of this board that my shoulders are level here, and not only am I into my left side from the waist down, but my spine is in front of the golf ball, and I'm into the left side from my waist up as well. Some of the common errors: the head needs to be delivered to this impact bag and to the ball the same way that it starts. In other words, in a race to the ball, the handle must beat the head. I see an awful lot of setups that look like this with hand action that looks like that. One of the remedies is to use an impact bag or to take an extender, have it avoid your left rib cage, and take some practice strokes without hitting your ribs. If you put too much right hand into it, you're gonna break a rib with your weight falling backwards. So remember, the ball is back in the stance. The handle and the weight are forward, and we use a very simple putting stroke. For the pitching wedge and the lofted chip, the setup and the stroke are similar. What we know about the pitching wedge, though, is that with the same action, the ball will roll the same amount that it flies. So the ideal landing spot for this shot and this club is about halfway between ball and hole. Now let's go to the other side of the green and learn how to give the ball some loft with our lob wedge. We've learned the 2 low shots, the chip and the lofted chip, with the 7-iron and the pitching wedge. Now we've got to learn how to hit 3 different pitch shots with our lob wedge, our 60-degree wedge. We're going to hit a low pitch, a medium pitch, and a high pitch. Now, if by definition a pitch is a shot that has more air time than ground time, it could be 60-40, it could be 75-25, or it could be 90-10. We need to be able to control trajectory with our lob wedge as well as distance. To control trajectory, all you have to remember is that hinge equals height. If you don't need any height, you don't hinge, and you use the none-none stroke. So for the low pitch, we play the ball back, we lean left, and we use that same wristless putting stroke. To give it a little bit of loft, we have to add some wrist hinge. But where we add the wrist hinge is the important factor. We're going to play the ball more in the middle of our stance, get our weight 55% into our front foot, or in my case, my left side, instead of 70. And on the back side, I'm going to hinge. I'm going to get the club above my head. On the front side of my swing, I'm going to take the hinge out. So to me, it feels like hinging on the back with my hands and an arm swing on the front without my hands. What I see most people doing is having no wrist hinge on the back side and then trying to add loft with plenty of wrist hinge on the front. This is not a spoon, a scoop, or a shovel. It's a golf club. You don't add loft to the golf ball by hitting up on it. You actually add loft with a combination of a downward blow and the loft of the golf club. So remember, we're going to play the ball in the middle of our stance, even out our weight a little bit. You can even tend to lean it forward or get the ball a little bit forward of center. We're going to have plenty of wrist hinge here, plenty of wrist hinge here, and to back out distance, you can slow your stroke down a little bit. So it's kind of like a long, wristy, full swing, 1/4 speed. Some wrists on the back, some wrists on the front, makes that one some. We've got 3 shots with the lob wedge, 3 different pitches. Low, none. medium, some, none, and the high one, some, some. It's kind of like learning Cantonese.
To hit a low shot, play ball back in a narrower stance. Lean club forward, weight on forward leg. Hands through the ball before club head. Hinge equals height. Low shot, none, none. Medium shot, some, none. High shot, some, some.